contract. That's why. So as young men, we only doing what our fathers did. Give me Joshua chapter 8 and verse 34. We're only doing what our forefathers did, right? The forefathers gave us a commandment. He said, go teach my people, right? Teach them they're Israelites. We're only doing what our fathers did. Read that for me. Joshua chapter 8 and verse 34. You go to church, sis? No? Good. That's good. That's good. Y'all been to church lately? No? Well, y'all believe in God or y'all wouldn't have came up there, right?
Yeah, we believe in God, but I haven't found a church home.
Okay, I'm going to get Romans. Hold that. Get Romans chapter 10. Romans chapter 10. 21. Read that.
The book of Romans, chapter 10, verse 1. Brethren, my heart desire and prayer to God for Israel is that they might be saved.
So our heart and our prayer is that you guys might be saved, right? That's why we out here teaching to you guys. That's why we drove an hour out here and set up camp just to teach our people, right? We took time out of our days to travel and come to speak to you, right? That's why we're here. Go back to Joshua chapter 8 and verse 34.
This is the book of Joshua, chapter 8, verse 34. And afterward, he read all the words of the law, the blessings and the cursings.
So he said he read all the words of the law. So when you keep in the law, there's going to be blessings. A blessing is a good thing, right? And there's going to be curses, right? So what is a curse? A curse is what we live in today. A curse is why we live in today. You think, well, there's a reason why we have it the hardest.
What?
There's a reason why we have to work the hardest.
What?
We cannot be slack. If we give them a little room to persecute us, they're going to take advantage of it. Us as a people, when we're walking in society, we got to know these things, right? We got to know these things. We are under the curses right now. But the Lord thy God said there's blessings behind them too, right? That's the benefit of knowing who you are. That's the benefit of keeping the commandments for those blessings, right? Read on.
According to all that is written in the book of the law, there was not a word of all that Moses commanded, which Joshua read not before all the congregation of Israel.
So we're going out and we're teaching you the basic things of the law, right? The blessings and the curses, right? Us as a people, we want to get blessed, right? We want to get blessed. If I ask you want to be blessed, you say yes, right? What about you, big bro? You want to be blessed, right? You want to be blessed, right? Psalms 119 and verse 1. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. A lot of people, they turn their shoulder from us because they think we're teaching hate. We're not teaching hate. This is love. Or they say we racist, right? Things like that. What about this? The term racist, right? Let's think about this term for a minute. A pianist, do they hate pianos? A violinist, do they hate violins? A racist, do they hate racists? No. A definition of a racist, you're worried about your particular race of people. A violinist, you're worried about a particular instrument. That's why you're a violinist. So that's why they term racist out there, and it's guess what? It's to deter you from coming to speak to us. We are worried about our people. We are concerned with our people, how they live and how they dealing with each other. We are concerned with that, right? So by definition of racist, guess what? It's not a bad term. It's not a bad term, but they have to throw it out there to keep you guys from speaking with us, right? Read that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 1. Blessed are the undefiled in the way, who walk in the law of the Lord.
So if you want to be blessed, you must do what? Walk in the laws of the Lord, right? Walk in the laws of the Lord. So let's get some basic.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
Laws of the Lord. So let's get some basic laws. 1 Corinthians chapter 11. I'm going to show you some basic things that, since right now, you actually keeping a lot of commandments not even knowing. You are. Now we are also breaking a lot of commandments not knowing, but that's why we're here to let you know, to fix these things, right? So we can get that blessing that the Lord our God said he would give us if we walk in the commandments, right? So let me get this real quick.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 3. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
So we answer to someone, right? Us men, we answer to Christ, right? There's a higher power that we answer to. It said Christ. Read on.
And the head of the woman is the man. And the head of Christ is God.
So women, when you're married, you answer to your husband, right? And the head of Christ is God. In itself right there, that lets you know it's two different people, right? Christ and God cannot be the same people because there's a divine order, right? There's the Most High God, Christ. there's men, there's women, and there's children, right? That's the divine order. Read on.
Every man praying or prophesying.
So it said, every man praying. If you ask the Lord for a blessing, if you ask the Lord to fix a situation in your life, you're sending up supplications to the Lord. That's prayer, right? Then it says prophesying. What is prophesying? Predicting. Predicting is like a future. Yeah, in the future. What about you, big bro? It's speaking truth, right? Revelations. You got Revelations 19 and verse 10. Where you going? Are you going to Revelations 1? Okay, Revelations 19 and verse 10. Let's get what prophecy is, because it said every man praying to God or prophesying, right? Let's get the definition of prophecy.
The book of Revelations, chapter 19, verse 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see that thou do it not. And I fell, and I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Jesus Christ. Worship God, for the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy.
So the testimonies of Christ that we get out of the Bible is the spirit of prophecy. So right now, you're in the midst of prophecy right now. We're going into the Bible and we're showing you future situations that are going to come if we don't keep the commandments. We're going to the Bible and we're showing you future situations that are going to happen if you do keep the commandments. Right now, we're in the midst of prophecy. This is in the midst of prophecy. Right now, we're prophesying, right? Go back to 1 Corinthians.
1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 4.
Now I want to ask you this question, right? Why do we suffer from single parent households? We curse because we don't want to keep the commandments, right? So right now, this is something we can implement at this exact moment in order to lift a little bit of that curse, right? To make a step towards the right direction, right? Read that.
Every man praying or prophesying.
So prophesying is reading out of the Bible, right?
Having his head covered.
Having his what?
His head covered.
So if a man is in the midst of, is he praying or prophesying, he has something on his head, read on.
Dishonor his head.
Who was the head of man? Christ. Christ was the head of man. So he said, if you have something on your head, you're praying or prophesying as a man, you dishonor Christ. You're showing Christ a disrespect. We go into a courtroom, correct? And what's the first thing we do? We take off our hat, cut off our phones, silence our phone, right? So why, when we come to serve our God, the Black Messiah, we don't want to show that same respect? The man that died for our sins, and he gave his life so you can have life, right? That's a very heavy thing. He said, if you have your head covered when we're in the midst of prophecy or praying, you dishonor Christ. So right now you got the thing on your head, it said you dishonor Christ because you're in the spirit of prophecy. Read on.
But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth.
So every woman, if she's praying or prophesying,
with her head uncovered, dishonor her head.
So women supposed to have their head covered. You have your head covered in the midst of prophecy right now. You are keeping the commandment of God without even knowing it. Us the people, we naturally want to do things to please God. We naturally want to do those things without even knowing. Before you came into the camp, you may cover your head all the time when you're reading the Bible. Just off instinct, right? Because as a people, it's ingrained in us, it's in our DNA to serve the Black Messiah, Jesus Christ.
Right.
The things we do in a day-to-day life, we actually are keeping commandments without even knowing it. We just have not been told it's a commandment of God. So right now, you keeping a commandment by having your head covered. You keeping a commandment by taking the thing off your head, right? You're showing Christ honor or respect. The same way you show that white man when you go into his courthouse, right? The same thing. Christ said, that's a heavy thing. That's how you fix your situations. That's how you turn things around. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 30. That's how you fix things. Us as a people, we got to seek the natural things out of the law and do them, right? Because as a people, this 400 years of slavery, matter of fact, hold that. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15 real quick. Because I don't want to go to these conditions, right? I don't want to go to these conditions again. I don't, right? But these things are written for you to understand to keep the commandments. It's written to let us know that at one point in time, we was hard-headed, stiff-necked. We can't operate like that no more. Read that.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
I just showed you right now, by you implementing those basic laws, you gave a little bit of understanding right now. You're slowly causing a ripple effect to lift up the curses. You're slowly fixing your community. Because now, if you see somebody else, maybe you got an auntie, a cousin or something like that, and she's coming over your house, y'all going over the Bible, hey sis, cover your head real quick. Let me show you 1 Corinthians chapter 11. That's how you can fix the community. You can spread it like that by your actions. Actions and words, right? A lot of times the things that we do, we teach others. You don't have to.
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, His word.